And we're kicking off our linebacker must-starts for Week 10 with a player who is currently enjoying a perfect storm of opportunity and production. That player is Eric Wilson, the veteran Swiss Army knife linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings, whose unique role in the defense makes him an absolute cheat code. While ostensibly an off-the-ball linebacker, Wilson's utility is best highlighted by his Week 9 explosion against Detroit, where he racked up 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 6 tackles. His secret sauce is his positional fluidity. The Vikings consistently task Wilson with playing along the defensive line's edge, allowing him to leverage his above-average pass rush skills, which have led to a career-high 3.5 sacks, 57 tackles, and 2 forced fumbles. Wilson isn't a 100% snap count guy, but at a solid 85%, he is entering a dream scenario in Week 10 against the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are very generous to linebackers this season, ranking as a top 5 LB matchup, and they're also top 12 in allowing points to edge rushers, since that'll certainly come into play this week, making Wilson a high-floor, high-ceiling LB1 capable of delivering a monster dual-threat performance. After that, Wilson's next 3 to 4 matchups are still pretty solid, but if you're looking for help the next few weeks in deeper formats, Wilson is looking like a great option.
We are looking at the very definition of a high-risk, high-reward stream, a player who only gets the snaps if the stars align. Mohamed Diabate, the Cleveland Browns linebacker, is the direct beneficiary only if Scherzinger is ruled out or severely limited with his high ankle sprain this week. Our confidence in Diabate starting hinges entirely on this one condition, backed by the assumption that he will fill the role because he was the guy who took over when Scherzinger went down. And whatever you do, don't forget about the other healthy linebacker, Devin Bush. He's got a huge boost this week too. However, if that scenario does play out and Scherzinger is out, you should get instant full-time snaps. And reportedly, Diabate is talented. The coaches raved about his explosiveness in the offseason, and he did highlight his limited Week 8 action with 5 tackles, 1 for a loss, and a forced fumble. Just keep in mind that Diabate's potential value is limited, as the Browns have 2 top 10 LB matchups on tap over the following 2 weeks. Diabate is purely a speculative move at the moment, a solid LB2 streaming option with a lot of LB1 upside, and only when we get official word on Scherzinger's status before our lineups lock down.
We are now turning our attention to another guy who has been handed an opportunity due to the injury bug. Hitting the Big Apple is the New York Giants linebacker Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles. The New York Giants defense has, unfortunately, suffered multiple injuries at the linebacker position. They have already been without Micah McFadden, and now his backup, Darius Muasau, also suffered an injury in Week 9. This series of setbacks opened the door for Flannigan-Fowles, and he took full advantage. In his game versus the 49ers in Week 9, Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles stepped into that LB2 role and delivered a very productive performance, finishing as a nice LB1 overall last week. He recorded 7 tackles, 1 for a loss, and added an assist. Flannigan-Fowles was also effective because he was on the field for a solid 85% of his team's defensive snaps with Muasau out. And if he's going to be the next man up this week versus the Saints, which isn't a top 5 LB matchup like the 49ers were last game, and more around the middle of the pack, we'll temper our expectations for now. So the best we got is a deep-looking LB2 outing this week, and then we'll see if he can overachieve or not before the Giants hit another mediocre linebacker matchup versus the Packers in Week 12. And again, we'll need a final injury report on Darius Muasau before this even comes into play.
And that seals the deal on your linebacker must-starts for Week 10. If you found this analysis helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Week 10 NFL IDP advice. And thanks for watching.
They doubted us every step of the way, but we knew what we were capable of.